easy millions or on the other side of going even deeper with that?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm hot and it's just like, okay, turn up the heat versus, like, as hot, oh, my God, turn it down.
Yes.
Do you get it? Like, it's so visceral.
Oh.
Wild Rose! Wild Rose!
Okay, let's get this show on the road. Action! Welcome to this week's podcast episode. This is actually episode number 50. And today we have a special guest with us, Jana Kingsford. She has been on the show before, I believe, like way back, like episode
way back
12
when.
or something.
In a cabin.
In a cabin, yes, when we're in Early Beach. But we have Jana back again to have another conversation about how she doesn't do stuff normal. But before we jump into this week's podcast episode, we start with hashtag awkward question time. And we've got a really good one for you today, Jana.
Did you plan this?
We do.
We
always
do. You guys are next level.
We don't actually tell each other what our answers are, but we come up with a question and we're like, that's a good one.
And
so
you've got butterflies in my belly. Go for it. Okay.
Jana Kingsford.
Yes.
What is the most awkward thing that's ever happened on a live stream?
The snake.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was actually scary. The snake.
That
the
wasn't-
black snake. Did you know that, Jana?
I remember. And because I was thinking about it before. I was watching, I'm pretty sure I was watching, but I was thinking about this before because I was like, I bet you Jana says the snake story. Because, I was actually thinking, I can't remember whether you just took off or whether you had reflex to just grab your camera and start running. And I think you grabbed your camera, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I kept live streaming. I finished.
You did. Like, she's a professional snake run away from her.
It was black. It was big.
Oh.
It was huge.
And it came right up to me to investigate what I was doing. It was like literally this close to me and like this.
Oh my
it was about
God.
to
And I was like running like sort of, you know, when you sort of like push back with your legs on the ground. I was doing that for a bit with the hand, with my like phone in the hand with the tripod. And then I just ran while I was live streaming.
I stopped breathing.
live streaming in Australia.
Yeah.
There can be snakes. Oh my gosh. I remember that.
Yeah.
After that, when I was doing lives, I was really self-conscious, like always looking around because
Same. I still do.
I just
Yeah, that was the most awkward because I screamed. I was actually legitimately scared. So yeah, that was the most awkward.
I would.
Well,
I don't know if it's the most awkward or scary. I can't think of an awkward one. Oh,
whoa!
Can I give you another? I've got a bonus brownie point. I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but when we were at Darwin, do you guys know that one?
No.
Okay, I was live streaming, and then Mark came out, and then he's like, "You want to?"
Oh,
why we were live? And he's like, "You want to do?" And I'm like, but he used the word H-U-M-P. He's like said hump while it was live. I'm like, babe, I'm live. And he's like, oh, didn't know that. And everyone lost their stuff on the live stream.
Was it like a live out on public, or was it inside a group or a course or something?
Public. It was a public live stream.
Hey, babe, want to go get jiggy with it?
Yeah,
I'll finish this live stream, thanks. Just talking to the world here.
I'm just public.
Oh yeah, mine's definitely not as awkward as that. I think. Well, I don't really have many awkward moments with lives. I think probably two that come to mind is when, one was when Simon was probably just not his normal self, and so he's in the kitchen just bashing dishes around. I'm just like, well, do I get up from my live and tell him to shut the fuck up, or do I, but there was that, and then there's the other ones where, do you know when you get on lives, right, and there's handles, especially on Instagram, and there's handles like Coconut Bliss yoga yonder, and you're just like something. It's like, oh hi, coconut bliss yoga yonder. Like you don't know how to, address them to make them feel special and feel like they matter, but it's really hard because their handle's the name of their thing.
I agree.
And then sometimes it's just like, well, they've been they've been there for a long time, so you should know their name, and you don't. Like they've been celebrating you for cheerleading you for like 4 months or so, and you're just like, oh my god, I still don't know their name.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Oh, it's hard when it's like their handle on Instagram is different from their name on Facebook, and you're like, I know whose handle that is, but I can't think of who it is.
No,
Yes.
yeah, everyone get it just the name. We're just so used to the names. I find that too. That's almost like a little bit of an awkward thing only on IG. So I'm like, thank you so much, XX Coconut today.
Yeah.
Coconut.
What's your name? Tell me your name.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine. Okay.
Have you spat on the camera?
When I spat on the camera.
Remember, like in the first, you said last week you were telling me I went live and I spat straight away.
Oh no, I burped.
Oh, okay.
I did not see. The first thing that I did, I legit went go live, and then the first thing that came out of my mouth was womp.
That's the one I thought you were talking about. I thought it was shit, but that works.
No,
You've been hanging around Lindy. Lindy does that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like a confirmation of like something brilliant's about to come out of my mouth burp. It was like a legit like from the guts burp. But I've had a couple. I cried on a live stream. I think I've cried on 2 now, but the first time that happened, it was pretty embarrassing because I was like, I was trying to share something, and this was a few years ago. And remember, I was like, Jana, I cried on a live stream. I'm so embarrassed. And I literally was like crying. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go, and like just ended it. Because I was trying to explain something that was like really getting to me, and just kind of like, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
But it was a really good live stream actually.
You definitely got to pop that cherry of like live streaming and crying.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone who hasn't.
I did. Yeah. I cried. I live streamed after I finished with you, Jana, and I cried
I cried too. I did the live stream too, and I cried.
Oh. Yeah, and then I also had a naked child run in the back of one of mine too. And I was like, okay, and I stopped it and then deleted it straight away because I was like, no. So that was
getting banned for this.
That was very awkward.
Yeah.
Anywho, live stream life.
Live stream life. I love it. Good question, guys. Good question. I like it.
Question.
Love it.
That's a good one.
Get the ball rolling. So, Jana Kingsford, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
On the wild roads. Yeah. Because literally the day after we recorded our episode last time, way back, I'm pretty sure we were like episode 12 or something last time.
I think it was, yeah.
And literally the day after we recorded that, you cracked the $1 million nut in your online business for 1 year. In 1 year, the 12 months.
The 12 months, yeah.
Made $1 million in 12-month nut.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just like, like we could have talked about that.
It happened at night. After I talked to you in the morning, it cracked right at like 10 o'clock. And then the next day I woke up and I saw you in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did it. And you started crying. And I was just shell shocked. I was sort of just like,
I was like
stunned mullet, and you were just feeling it all for me.
I was. She was just like, I made $1 million. And I was like, oh my God. And then I started bawling my eyes out, and she's like, yeah.
She's like, do you know what this means for me? Like, in all of us, it just makes it feel possible. I'm like, I'm so glad you're feeling this for me right now. It was so good.
You're just in shock.
Yeah, I was just in shock. Yeah. I was like total shock. Just didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. And so that was back in May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it been like since then? Like compared to the year before?
Yeah.
And then cracking that, does it feel different or is it just the same?
It feels It does feel different because it was like the big dream that I'd wanted all along. Like ever since I was a kid, I wanted that. And then like I wanted to do that so that I could prove that you could and you could do it being yourself. And I sort of felt like it meant a lot because like you felt it for me in that moment when I was in shock, and I felt it later.
Yeah.
But it was like I got to prove that you could do it being yourself and doing what you love and things like that. So I think that was really good. But what's it been like? Well, I feel like I got sabotaged really bad. So a really bad bout, I think about 3 months where I was like really out of the game. So that was pretty fallen, but come back stronger after that and just next level now. But I think what it's been like, it was like that already before I cracked it. So if you look at like what we can do, it's all very similar. It's just like that milestone of being able to like crack it and be like, okay, we can do it. And also it helps, it's got so much clout attached to it. Like, and it's good. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I just found like, what's it been like on the bad thing? Let's go bad and then we'll go good. The bad thing was I felt instantly dehumanized, like instantly. It was like I crossed this threshold. And I don't think this is talked about, but instantly I felt this dehumanization. You know how like movies, they portray the millionaire and they do it in such a way that you would never do that to anybody else, like that was struggling, or you wouldn't treat them like that or talk about them in such a way. So I felt like this, all of a sudden you are now not human and all rules don't apply anymore. Wow. So like that was probably the hardest thing, whereas I felt people looked at me different. Some of them, not all, but looked at me a little differently than, it was like, I'm now in another category. You're not one of us now. You're over here and you're open slather. That's what I felt. Wow. Like that was fun. That took a while to get used to that sort of new thing. But yeah, that was probably the bad thing.
Yeah. That's difficult, especially when you are showing up and you're used to like so many people. Like we're just hanging off every word and wanting and knowing that you're part of us, but feeling like I mean I certainly didn't feel that way, but it would have been so difficult for you to feel like, hey, where's this all gone? Like I'm here, I'm still here.
Yeah, still human.
Awful. Yeah.
Did you find that it was like directly at you, or was it like just stuff that you started to notice?
It felt there was direct and then there was like general as well. Like it's general. It's almost like every second post started to become, maybe because you just start to see it more because you're in it, like you're really aware of it, because you would have just gone straight over your head before. But it was just like people that start to talk about 7 figures, like, you know, what I really care about is your results, like is how connected you are with your husband, or, you know, what I really care about is how much time you spend with your kids. You know, that's what I want to celebrate. And like, it's not one without the other. Like it goes without saying, doesn't it? Like, but it doesn't sometimes. So it's like, you just spend your whole life getting this amazing goal, and then you're just like, no, you're not allowed to celebrate that.
Like, did it feel like there wasn't everybody here wanting to celebrate with you? It felt more like you started to feel, like it was, you were an outsider rather than with everybody.
Yeah, that's definitely the first thing. Like, I mean, it's great and amazing, but that was the hardest thing to get used to. You definitely do get used to it, but that was the first thing. It was a little tricky to get used to because I wasn't used to it, obviously. But you sort of, like, over time, it took me 3 months, I would say, to fully integrate with it and fully allow myself to, like, enjoy it and get used to that. And at the end of the day, have compassion for everybody's feelings. And just go, okay, well, they get to be like that, or they get to have those opinions, or they get to dehumanize. If they want to dehumanize me, that's okay. It's their sovereign choice to be however they want to be. And I just get to be. It's not so much about anybody else now. It's more about, like, you're really forced into, like, a ringer of really bringing it back to you and really going, how do I want to respond to this?
Yeah.
Like, so that was, and how do I think of myself? I'm not dehumanized. I still see myself as a full human and experiencing all the emotions, probably more so than I ever have.
Yeah.
So it sort of was like, I think that was the thing that helps me to reconcile it, was just compassion for everyone.
Yeah, which is beautiful. It's beautiful because, I mean, that really does actually amplify your humanness as well, because, you know, when you become numb to that sort of stuff, that's when those sorts of things, the trauma or the, you know, just that experiencing of that can be just an underbelly that could, you know, grow into something bitterness later. Then all of a sudden, you know, I've seen it, like there's leaders out there that you just seem that there's a coldness to them, and that's what I love about you, Jana, is like you're always wearing your heart on your sleeve, like you give everything you've got. And even though I see you as a millionaire and like you're still Jana, like you're Jana to me, and I know that you're still a beautiful mom, and you're still there, and you're still like you haven't got that, okay, I'm going to put my wall up now, and how I am online is how I'm going to deliver, and how I'm going to respond to these things is in the cold-hearted way. You're just like, we'll stuff it. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be exactly how I was. And to me, that makes me love you more. It's just like, this is possible for me, and I don't have to lose anything. I don't have to lose myself in the process.
I really like that. Literally, it's like it's such a huge thing from the whole experience was just, you know, getting to be myself and finding that compassion. And I felt like in those 3 months, like I'm like, I know why people get like, that's why leaders of a company, you don't even know if they're like got the feminine core or masculine core anymore. They're just like they're shut down. So I think I knew it in that time. I was like, I know why people get bitter. Because people just come at you like you're just not human anymore. Like you've got no feelings. Like,
you're not struggling anymore like the rest of us. Like you're not trying to achieve the thing. Like you're actually there. And I feel like that's a big part of the reason why not everybody gets there. Is because they're like, you see that might even be a part of that because you haven't got it yet, and it can be quite easy to get caught up in like the, you know, these people, those people, all of that sort of stuff. That, you know, when you see posts like that, people go on like, you know, bandwagons with it, and
they love it.
We spoke about that before, like the whole bandwagoning thing. It's such a dangerous thing to start.
Especially when you're reading it, going, that's
now this person said something.
They're like,
this
oh my god, like totally. It's like full like gang up kind of vibes. Like. I don't know if there's another word for that now, but like that's what it feels like. It's sort of like everyone. So I think that's why people shut down, because it's like bitterness, coldness, because everyone's can be an a-hole. It's like, well, screw all ears. A lot of us online have our own businesses, and we have our followings for our certain brands. And there's a lot of people that follow, you know, Jana, that follow me, that follow Shona, and then other people that come in from other ways. And you kind of are in all these different like kind of pods and circles and cliques and ecosystems and stuff online. So it's so interesting when you know, come across somebody and you see other people that you're like, oh, I know that person and I know that person. And like how the way certain people write their posts and like how they put their message across. And it's so interesting to see how, and it's beautiful because it, you know, freedom of speech, and we've all got our own ways of doing things, but sometimes creating content out of a reaction that you're having about somebody else and their content and what they're doing creates this like bandwagoning effect. And then all of a sudden people are on these like tirades of like, this has got to stop and this needs to be out of the industry. And like they're sort of twisting and turning what's happening because there's like a part of them that's like, oh, I'm frustrated, I'm not there yet. And how did she get there before me?
That's exactly right. And it's interesting when that happens, because all of a sudden there's a division again. When we were a collective, and then there's a division again, and it just keeps happening like that. And it's just like, oh my God, they've just shaken up the industry so much that everyone feels bad about everything. And then there's a division again. And then we come back together again after some, you know, learning and discovering, but really it's a reaction. And I guess that's why I don't post reactively.
No.
Ever.
And why it's important to take care of your own shit. Like do the inner work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love
exactly.
this. Do you know something that I thought? You guys have all had businesses in different industries. One of my thoughts is if you haven't, the industry post, like the industry has to change. Or the industry has
The
been-
industry is evil.
The industry
Yeah.
I'm in is terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever it's
Yeah.
like a blanket statement. Are just people that have never been in another industry. Like I've had a business in another industry. You've had a business. You have had, and it's just like, dude, you have no idea. I've been in the removals industry. You want to see cutthroat?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wedding
And I mean,
industry.
the wedding photography industry
my
is
God.
very masculine. It's very top doggish. It's very much like, this is my domain
Way
and these are
worse.
my people. And like,
You stole my
you
client.
can't come in and take my clients. And there's like, it's really like, it's crazy how much, what you see, people complain about, the coaching industry and people wanting to help other people online and how bad it is and how people are doing all these wrong things. And I'm like, dude, this is an industry built on people genuinely wanting to help people be themselves.
If you don't like it, get a different industry. Jesus. I think everybody needs to work in a different industry to be like, you all just need to like go get a different, get a business in a different industry and you won't be talking about that anymore.
And I feel like the whole it's unregulated and anything can happen. I'm like, yeah, it's unregulated. Anything can happen. That's actually a beautiful thing, because if you're in an industry where there's certain rules and like price points and like all these things, like it's so much harder.
How many psychologists became coaches, which is such a beautiful thing, so that they could say what they wanted to say.
Yeah.
Because they felt like so restricted, so like, I mean, we're all humans, we're all adults, we can make our own decisions, and if like we can use our own intuition, and if it's not right for us, it's not right for us. I mean, the beautiful thing is it's not regulated. That's why psychologists come and become coaches, because they get to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
So why would you argue for it to be regulated? Nature will take its course.
And I think that's really beautiful what you said about intuition. Like, I feel like that's a big part of it, is following your intuition. And that's why Shona and I loved coaching with you for so long, because you're a big advocate for that. And, how does that feel for you? What do you want to do? Like, how do you see it? Let's work on building it the way that you see it, not the way that I've built mine, not the way that that person said that this method is the only way to do it. It's like, how does it work for you? And how do you, it's basically really fine-tuning your intuition so that you can continue to grow and you don't put yourself in a niche and in a box where you are like kind of like, oh, that's all I can do because that's the box that I put myself in. I think that's a really big thing to remind everybody, is that follow your intuition. Like, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. If somebody says something and you're like, I don't know about that, like, you don't need to tear them apart in a post and like go on a huge bandwagon and say that this should be eliminated from the coaching industry because it has a place, because it worked for someone.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
And it will work for others, but it's just not for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Intuition.
It's freedom. It's freedom. Like, when we've been in industries and we're just like, it's an oppression being in those industries where you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to say this.
Yeah.
And you're fighting for to get higher or to be successful in that industry, but you can't be yourself. You got to be like everybody else. So this, I think we're in the best industry in the whole world.
I agree. I love coaching. I love it.
So do I. So do I. When you said it the other day, I was just like, oh my God, yes, so do I. Like, it's just the biggest, like, that's it for me. Like, I'm just the happiest I've ever been in my life.
We love coaching. I want a shirt. It says, I love coaching. Like, you know how it says, I love New York? I love coaching. I need to get the merch.
I had the visual of like
coming soon.
Little clams. Like, you know how you say like happy as a little clam? Like,
yes.
Like a little clam.
We're bringing sunshine to the coaching industry in this talk, I feel like. Just like, there's always a bit of sunshine, like a bit of sparkle farts.
Yeah.
How good's that real?
I know, it's so good.
We got chaos to spread.
Watch out, sparkle farts. We got chaos to spread. I love that. It was so good.
That's so your energy too. You're like, come on, let's go.
Oh, it was the first reel of my big lot of like all those crazy reels. Like they were so good. All the reels at that time were so perfect for me. And that was the first one that I did. I was like, jump in, Sparkle Fast. We got chaos and spread. And then from there, I was just like, bang, 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 50 million reels a day.
The content's just pouring out of me now.
I was like, you know what? I'm doing a reel with this. I'm like, we're getting so serious. We just need to like take a chill pill, take a happy pill, and get some sunshine on. Like,
oh gosh,
let's have a laugh.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Let's be all sides of ourselves.
Yeah. So I guess the burning question that I know a lot of people would want to know is, how do you make $1 million in your business? Because I feel like that's a big thing. Everybody's like, I want $1 million business. And they're like, I like, how though?
I know. The how behind the wow coming at you. Well, you started the documentary talk. I was like, let's keep it going.
We got serious.
The how behind the wow. Well, I can't stop thinking of how now, brown girl. Oh my God. Okay, continue. So the how. I feel like it's like, if you like, so it's books, courses, masterminds, memberships. That's what it's based on, right? So a life workers business model. It's more people. It's loving your offering and your product suite, like everything. It's creative inspiration and acting on it, and not having. This is why people get teams too early. They get teams too early because they think they've got to systematize and strategize. And the more that I've really started to research and looked at and worked with people with like $100 million companies now and like 25 million, everyone's scaling too early. Like, you're trying to tame a wild beast before it's even become wild enough to tame. Like, I got goosebumps.
That's so true.
Stop trying to tame it. You're not at $10 million a year yet. Go crazy. Drink from the fire hose. When staff come now, it's like, hey, are you ready to drink from the fire hose? What? No.
You imagine drinking from a fire hose.
Literally.
Your face has literally come off.
That's what it feels like. Does your business feel like that? Does your business feel like that? Not yet. No. Well, that's what it feels like with $1 million business. It's drinking from a fire hose, because it's like, inspiration, go. Okay, let's go. And it's like, I've got this new Genie team member the other day, and it was Sunday night, and I decided I'm doing a Dream Bigger masterclass tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, she's going to wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m. and we're doing a masterclass. So, surprise! I literally said, surprise! We're doing a masterclass. It's starting today. I'm going to it's going to start day 1's tomorrow, and the day 2's the next day, day 3's the third day. I'm going to do a live stream today to announce it. We're going to do a picture. It's going to say comment. And she did not know what she needed to do, but I was like, here's fire hose. Let's go. And
just drink this. It's fun. Let's go.
I did a couple of screen recording. I was like, we learn on the fly. I was like, this is what we got to do. And then I'm going to do a post. And every time you see somebody commenting Dream Bigger, that means that they want this. And I'll show you. And I showed in the little thing that I did. And I'm like, back me up. I'm the cyclone. Get behind and like clean it up behind me. That's it. That's my new attitude with staff, and that's what it feels like, because that's what it was like on my way up to the million. And I felt like what I did was kind of like, go, okay, we're at the million and we need to get serious. No, like the more research I've done into it is you are still building. It's not built. At $1 million, it's not built. It's still building. And at 10 million, that's when it's time to bring in like more structure, more standard operating procedures. Because literally, like Kirsty used to say, like I'd be like, we need standard operating procedures. She's like, it changes every week. So how?
That's so true, because this is what I feel like.
It's a moving target.
When you are, like you said, in that energy of unleashing the beast, like that's your creative life force. That's your feminine energy, just like going wild at it. And what I found is, because like I was like, oh, do I need to hire somebody? I need some, like I feel like I'm kind of like not doing all of the things. But it's like, until you actually know what it is that you're building and what it is that you're creating, you can't build structures to support that, because you'll be busy building structures that aren't even necessary.
They're redundant.
That doesn't even apply here. And then you feel like, oh, well, I built that structure and I put money and time into it. maybe I should create something that kind of works with that instead of what you're truly here to create. So I totally feel like, but like really lean into, I think this is something that you've really helped me with, Jana, is really lean into it being messy and feeling like it is like a tornado and somebody's got to like try and clean it up.
Yeah.
And like you have to clean it up for a while to understand what it is that's going through that tornado and being like shot out the other side and going, yeah, okay, cool. That's going to help me next time.
It's the best thing that happens is keeping it simple because it's just you. Because when you have other people in, you're doing convoluted stuff that doesn't need to be done. Instead of focusing on the bottom line, cash flow only matters for the first million. It's just cash flow. And everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't focus on money. Well, it's not a business then.
Yeah,
it's a business. It's a business. You've got to like focus on the money and the money, it goes without saying that you're clearly going to be like serving people. You make $1 million, it means you've served a lot of people. So it's, for me, it's to have the more people coming in. It was a rush of new people, but I was saying it the other day, like drinking from the fire hose is twofold the way or 50-fold the way that I can explain things. So think of it this way. Have you ever, like let's play a game of have you ever.
Have you ever. With Jana Kingsford.
On the wild roads. I love it. Have you ever. Okay, have you ever had a breakthrough and then gone and watched Netflix while there was heaps of comments and you just disappeared from the internet for a day? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Do we have any takers? On the left, do we have a taker?
1,000 points for yes, that's me.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, that is the fire hose moment where it's like, it's coming at you and you've just got to like stand and breathe and expand your capacity to receive and go, this is my moment, grow from here, breakthrough from here. Instead, you go breakthrough, bottom out, breakthrough, bottom out, and you get nowhere. So it's like breakthrough, next level, breakthrough, next level. And the only way is when all the people and the comments and, you know, when you're hot, like when you're hot and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm just a bit overwhelmed. There's so many like people everywhere and I just cannot even handle it. That's when you like show up. Like that's when it's like extra. So I think I mastered the art. The $1 million year was I stayed in it when I wanted to like, everything wanted to like, no, we need a break. We need to have a little break. But just like stay with it. It's the same amount of breaks. It's just like I'm not disappearing when I'm hot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Because because it's like, oh, see how many people are commenting. Oh, there's so many comments to reply to. Oh, I did good. See, I did good. Everybody's coming in. I'll just have a little break now.
Yeah. And then next time, oh my God, I'm getting no comments, Jana. Nobody has messaged me. I'm like, 2 weeks ago, you were like, too many comments. What do you want?
Last month, I know that I've said this. Last month was my best month ever, and this month's so shit. There's no money coming. I don't know what I did.
And then
we're all guilty of that.
Yeah, you go in a cocoon. You sort of like
hot and cold.
Yeah, you go hot and cold. Except it's hot. Bring it heat. Like bring the heat. And that's what I've mastered, building the buzz. And you guys might have noticed lately, I'm like the multi-millions are on the other side of going even deeper with that.
Yeah.
Because like I'm hot and it's just like, okay, turn up the heat versus like as hot, oh my God, turn it down.
Yes.
You get it? Like it's so visceral.
Oh, do you know what? It is, if you think about it, it's like, and you know, I'm going to use cold water as an analogy, but it's the same with like the hot, right? Yeah. When you get in the, like I go swimming in the winter when the water is like ice cold and it's ice cold outside. It's just a ridiculous thing. But like when you first jump in and that first like full minute that you're in there, the full 60 seconds, it feels like a freaking lifetime. You feel like you're going to die. Your body's going into like this full overwhelm of sensation and you're like, oh my God, it's so cold. Like you're doing weird shit. But it's so easy in that point to go, okay, I jumped in, I'm getting out now. And like quickly jump out and go, I did it. Now I can go home and like shower and, you know,
rug up the rest of the day.
But if you stay in, after like, I don't know, 3 minutes, your body's like numb and you start to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not even cold anymore.
It's not even cold anymore. And you're swimming around and it's like, this is so nice. And then you get out and you're like, oh, it's freezing because it's cold outside. But it's like you got to give yourself that moment and stand with it and just go, okay, all the sensations, but my body's going to acclimatize in a minute. Like, just hold it. And I love the fire hose analogy because it's like that. Like,
it's coming
you
at you.
get blasted with a hose.
Yeah.
Like, the first minute, it's going to sting your skin. You're going to be like, oh, my eyeball's literally going to come out of my head now. Like, is my skin come off my bone? But, like, after a while, you get used to that sensation. It's like, all right, turn it up, man. Like, I can handle it.
Please don't try this at home.
Disclaimer. Don't try this at home.
Do not actually go to a firehouse.
This is not
get them to
medical or
blast
health
you.
information. Seek medical advice.
Please consult your GP before putting a fire hose on yourself.
That's can you like so the other part of this is that's the million, like getting back to like how we do the million. What does this even what makes sense to like how you make money? So what happens is everything was on point. I knew I was sitting on $1 million business. Like I loved my Dreamsburg Club, which I still have now. I loved my Me Brand membership, which I still have now. I loved my courses, Big Dreams Bootcamp, launched a little course, Believe Addicts, all of my favorite courses. Still got them now. So what was different? I loved my marketing. It was authentic. It was me branding. It was personal branding. It was all the same. You guys know it was all super pretty much the same. It was just more people in it and prices increasing and going up. So one-to-one prices went up. The containerization, so me putting it in creating like turning my masterminds into an asset. So it's like I'm in figure 7 and it's just like, hey, I'm in figure 7. It's like a marketing move. So, but that was created. Like I had to create it into something that's an asset for people to join because it's like got notoriety. It's got like people know what it is. So that took time. But really it was about condensing the time between me going in these ups and these downs. So staying with it when I was hot and like just one more last one. So it's one of these things we learned on the road, like, you know, when you're having a drink, one more last one.
One more last one.
Next minute is 10 later. But one more that's the trick.
One more last one.
One more last one. That's one more last one. You know the vibe.
Get drunk on your business. I love that though.
Yeah,
intoxicated.
One more last one, and just one more story. Just one more story. Okay, one more story. Okay, do that. Now can I go watch Netflix? John, could you just do one more?
One more last one.
No, I want to watch Netflix. Just one more last one. Okay, fine. And you do one, and then you just like somebody messages you, hey, figure 7. Can you give me details?
I'm alive.
And so that was like the one more last one. So condensing the time, because imagine if I went out. So I think that I had just condensed time between my breakthroughs because I was building upon every breakthrough and it was just going up and up and up and up and up. Over time, that just means more people came into the Dreamsburg Club. The Dreamsburg Club price increased. The people that spend per customer like tripled, so people would come into these things, so making them really good experiences. So I found the more that I served them in the thing and blew their damn minds, the more that they wanted to go, okay, I did one course with you, now give me the Dreamsburg Club, I want the whole kit and caboodle. Doing that, and then them doing Dreamsburg Club, like Mindy joined Dreamsburg Club for a week and then she's like, figure 7, thank you. And I'm like, okay,
give me the top shelf.
Yeah, top shelf. Thank you. And that happens all the time. So it's like tripling my spend because they come into that and then they come into that and then they come into that and they take themselves as far as they want to go. So having all those like ground up, like the little $17 booklet all the way up to the $50 million mentoring, whatever it is. $50
bajillion
whatever it is at the time. Apparently everything's 50 million now.
That's what she's locking in. 50
I
million.
think I might be going for like 50 million. I think that might be happening because I've said that forever.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? How do you create $1 million business?
I really loved what you said there because it's not about creating like a funnel or an upsell sort of system. It's just having offers that are at all different price points so people can come in where they're at and then they kind of choose their own adventure with it, which I think is really powerful. And also creating an experience. I think this is something I know for you, Shona, as well. When we just created the Drive Masterclass that we did the other day, and we're opening up a mastermind together as well, which is called Entourage.
Woo!
Best name ever. FYI.
Yeah.
And for us, it's heavily focused on what is the experience that we're giving the people that want to come into here, even if it's a free masterclass or if it's a paid mastermind or a course or whatever. And I think being in your world and witnessing how you created courses, because it's so different from, you know, a lot of the courses that you see people make on the internet, and they're doing the whole internet marketing, create a digital product, an information-based service, because, you know, that sells really well and you can just put it on Evergreen and people just buy it and come in and money always comes in. It sounds really beautiful and great in theory, but when you're actually creating courses for people because you want them to have an experience with you personally, creating them live with them and putting them in spaces where you can interact, and it is more of a hands-on thing. Yes, you probably won't make as much passive money from it, but I think that's where the genius of this comes in, is that they come in at any level and they're getting these experiences and they're like, I want more, like take me higher. I want more of this, and I want more closeness of this. And that's something that I'm really proud of with my courses and things that you know, we create, is that it is such a beautiful experience for people to come in. And especially when people are so used to getting those automated, I just got the information and I go through the things myself, and like, you know, I don't get any touch point with the person who's created this. It's all automated. And they come in and you're actually there and saying, hey, let's do this thing today. You're like, what? It's a real person? And we're having a conversation and she's answering my question, and like that.
It's so different. Like, literally think of it this way. When they find you guys, when they find me, they have struck gold, because not everybody can find us. Go and Google how to create an online business. It's a shit list.
Oh, yeah. It's the same people.
Like you find us and you're like, whoa, this is a different level. Like, it's just like, I was trying to find somebody to help me with Asana. Like, I'm like, I want a really big, gutsy, big course and a consultant that comes in and does it for me, like a coach. And I looked, I'm like, it's a shit list. I need to get that insider knowledge of those people in those like funnels of Instagram. Like, I follow this person and then I follow this person and I find this person and then that person. And that's when you struck gold. When you find us, you've struck gold, because it's like that thing you can't search. You can't search us. I mean, you can if you knew our name, but that means you know our name. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? Like, we're sort of like that gold mine when you've struck gold, because we're an inside circle. This, like, it's not, you can't Google like this level of what we do with courses, like personalized, not 101, super advanced. Like, we're not for like people that are like, hi, I have a full-time job and I want to make money online. I'm like, no, you're not the niche. Like, that's not the vibe. We're like, the people that I work with is you're doing what you love for a living and you just want to take it higher. Like, so it's it is actually quite niche, even though we're so anti-niche, we're actually quite niche.
It is.
So
no, you're right. It is quite niche, but it's not like you
on purpose.
No, because you are your own niche. I always said that, like, you are your own niche, and you are very nichey, naturally being yourself. So you don't need to go stick yourself in a niche over there and be like, I'll be this one. Like, you already are one. Like, just be it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so true. Like, there's no SEO words that describe what we do.
No. So if you find us, you've struck gold. Congratulations. Ding, 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 ding.
You're a winner.
Winner, chicken winner. You're welcome.
And it's addictive.
Oh.
It's addictive.
Hey?
And it's addictive, just like the ding, ding, dings. It is addictive because
just one more last month. Cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Love it.
So, Jana, you are also a self-published author who has just gotten yourself a published deal for your next book. What is it called? When is it coming out? What's in it? And where can we buy it?
I can't believe I signed that dotted line. I was like, oh my God, for the first time ever, I'm not going to do anything half-assed. So this was like full out all the way. It's going to be a proper book, like a book that I'm proud of. Like a book.
Like a book?
Yeah.
Because there's books and then there's book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that half-assed kind of thing was not doing it for this one. This one wanted more of me. I'm like, I don't want to kind of just like press publish and just go. Come on. Like, I know how to
put it on Amazon. It'll be fine.
It's so, like, all of my Amazon, I'm like, please don't read them. They're terrible. But they were good at the time. But there was only 2 rounds of edits, so they're not perfect. I think they need 50 to be pretty good. So it's the Big Dreams book, but it's a working title. We're still, like, playing around with it. So it's a book that goes over the 7 stages of success. The ones that have lived for the last 5 years to create a 7-figure business the road to the 7-figure business, because we traveled around Australia, you know. You know. So it kind of starts there, because I was trying to do like the whole track back. I'm like, that's not working because it's too far. So it's like the last 5 years of building $1 million business, because I declared it to the internet that I was going to, and I also started traveling around Australia. So it takes you through all the stages of, and all the cycles of success for you. And also then I bring in stories that I went through. So they were just like, yes. As soon as I pitched them the idea, they're just like, yes. So that was super cool. And it's the same people that published Can't Hurt Me, the one by David Goggins, and it's impeccable. It's exquisite. So I'm really excited about it. It's just going to be next level. So they're like, you know, we've got a really high quality, like, and they do Audible books, so they know how to do it, like all the producing, and they've got like, and also I've upgraded to like the launching package as well, like the marketing launch. So they're not big on having them in stores. They really don't think that it's necessary, which I agree, but it is possible because of all the way that they're edited, they're like at bookstore quality. Like, so that's good.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because you cracked the $1 million year nut while living in a caravan.
Oh yeah.
Like that is something to, you know, because I've traveled in a caravan. You've done it for 5 years. I did it for 12 months. And like, it's not a comfortable living situation. Like, it's not like you have everything all of the time. It's like you're living on the road. Some places you have internet service. Some places you don't.
Yeah.
Some places you have, you know, amazing amenities and you've got closeness to staff. And other times you're literally in the bush just like doing it whatever you can with whatever you got. So I think that is just an amazing thing to be able to do that while in an you've put yourself in an environment where every day is different.
Yeah.
There's no routine. There's no like, this is my house, this is my space, this is the thing that I do every day consistently, and it's building slowly over time. Like, it's another thing that you've added in there is like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going. Are we staying here? Are we packing up? Are we going to the next place? I don't even know what is that the next place.
Yeah, it's like my favorite thing is the constriction, or if you want to be more creative, give yourself more constraints.
Yes.
So I think that's the travel. I've simplified now that I have like literally every day, and I'm like, I can do a podcast at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Let's go. Oh my God. How weird is this life? Because it was so like, you've got this many hours and you've got to make sure that you're in somewhere that you can get reception, and can't go live here, or you can't, like, I'm going to have to go live in the gravel in the bush, and okay, there's no shade. What are we going to do? Like, there's so many more constrictions and obstacles every single day, all day, every day. And it was constrictive at the same time as it's creative, because if you want to be more creative, give yourself more constrictions.
Yeah.
Or like, constraints or boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me more creative.
I found when we traveled that, you're using your creativity in a different way, because you're facing things each day that you wouldn't if you were living in a house and doing the same thing every day. Like, there was things that would happen and you'd be like, fuck, I never really thought of like, if I was in this situation, what would I do to like resolve it? Or what do I do if I can't get this, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, for example, I need to do a live stream, but like, okay, the caravan park or the campsite's full and I've got to go sit in the middle of the bush, possibly where there's snakes.
On the ground,
in Australia,
possibly where there's toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. That's a real thing. And
you totally just knew what I was talking about.
Exactly right. It is a real thing. You see stuff. But that's the thing. And also, like, you know, and you've got 3 kids as well that you were traveling with, and I had 2 kids, and, you know, we've got our partners, our husbands, and it's like you also have to work around what they want to do. They can't just sit in the caravan while you go off and do your work. And then,
especially when it's raining, they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. There's so many different things you got to creatively think about and work through, that I think it does heighten that creativity, because you are using resources and thinking about things in a different way. So you do open your mind up to that. Yeah.
That's the vibe. Definitely is.
I love it. Well, it's very easy for me to be in my big house and have the same routine every day, to have shiny things, you know. I said, I might just go over there and do that. I might just go over there and do that, you know, or, you know, whatever pops up. So I think I love it. It's just like almost I need to travel in a van so I can focus.
That's what everybody keeps I swear people
We are just going to hit the road.
I feel like everyone keeps on saying that because they're just like, I need to travel on the road. But I think
It's not for everybody,
It's not for
FYI.
everybody.
It's definitely not a lifestyle for
I
everybody.
don't think it's for me.
yeah, you like houses. So I think if it's not for you, I knew instantly it'd be for me. So if you don't have that
Yeah.
instant, I don't know. Like, but you can create it. The thing is, when we come into a house, we go straight into house mode and we have to pull ourselves out of house mode where you don't do anything much of anything because you're like so easy. And it's like, we just stood around a couple times going, what do you do in a house besides sitting and watching shows, like, or work? Like, what do you do? Like, you know,
people who
we
live in
sat on the
houses
couch
do.
and we're like, so
Yes.
I guess
Now
you turn on the TV, like we go for a walk. And so now it's like walk on the beach, you know, you just, and then you do the walk on the beach. You're like, and now what do we do? Okay, well, we make dinner. Okay, let's make dinner. Sort of like, it's,
we have a kitchen. Hey!
we have a kitchen. Let's make
Look at
dinner.
that.
That's our new, like, takes up a bit of the day sort of thing. But yeah, it was really interesting when we first came here. There's such a void of all the travel and the getting to places and the setting up and the packing up and the even going to the toilet is a situation. Cleaning the toilet is a situation because you've got to empty your own toilet. So everything is you just doing stuff all the time. But yeah,
You are. There's so many things you got to do when you are traveling. And like even just, oh my gosh. Okay. So I've told this on another podcast episode, but like even when you go to the shower block to have a shower, like you've got to remember all of the stuff. It's not like you just walk in your bathroom and everything's just magically there for you.
don't you hate it when you forget your towel?
I've done that and I've told that story on here and I was like, okay.
I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stories.
How do you,
You got to use your dirty shirt.
you do.
I'm like, yeah, you just do that. It's not even a thing now. I'm just like, I forgot my towel. Dirty shirt, but it's a singlet. Okay, this is going to be helpful. And my hair is soaking wet. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Fun times.
Yeah, good times.
You should totally do it.
Oh, this is awesome. So tell me what it feels like for your family. How are the family with your is it just the same for them, or do they feel a little shift within themselves as well? Like you've cracked $1 million. Mum's a millionaire now. How did that go?
It's so funny. The eldest is like says to Mason, "You were such a rich kid." So she grew up not rich. He's like, "Mum, can I have a game?" And she's like, "How much are those games?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then I looked at them and they're like $80. I'm like, "They're $80." She's like, "Mom, oh my God." I'm like, she's like, "How many does he get?" I'm like, "About 3 a week." She's like, "Mom." I'm like, "I already just noticed. I didn't realize it was $80. And then we go to the cafe and they used to get like, it was a good day if they could get a cookie and a little baby chino because they were 50 cents.
Yeah.
And so we go and we get like a if you get a cookie and a baby chino, oh my God, we're rich.
Best
today.
day ever.
Literally, that's $3. And Mason's like, so he walks in, he does his own order. So he goes, "I would like a large hot chocolate, 2 marshmallows on the side, please. And I want a banana bread with butter on it. And also I'll get a cookie." Yep. And like literally, and Tani's just like, he is such a rich kid. She's like salty and so cute. But it's like those little things are a little different. Like I'm happy that he doesn't know any different. But it's definitely that balance of like, are you doing the right thing? But then with the Marley, like she gets to have private tutoring for her gymnastics, her tumbling. She'll hate it if I said gymnastics. It's tumbling.
Get it right, Mom.
She's like, "It's tumbling." I'm like, and she gets to focus on building. She's got literally a viral TikTok because she focuses on creating content, and she's built her TikTok is based on fails. She's like, every day you've got to fail. I'm like, oh my God, that's my kid. That's my kid.
That's genius.
Yeah. So all her viral TikToks are fails. And she gets back up and gets back up and gets back up. And it's all encouraging. Like, "You've got this. Just try to tweak this when you do that." And they're so supportive. Like, you know, TikTok has a bad name, but you know, there's some bad ones and I have to walk her through it.
Yeah.
She's just like, I blocked them. It's okay, Mum. Because I didn't even know she'd gone viral. And she's like, yeah, Mum, it's fine. You just block all those ones. But there's so many like amazing comments. I'm like, oh my God, that's so sweet. So
That's beautiful.
we're able to like go, this is your passion. Recently, she's like, Mum, I would like to do a barista course. I'm like, okay. It was like $1,000. I was like, okay. Just you can do things that you couldn't do before. But she's got like a bit of a behind the scenes because she used to go to Kmart and it was a good day. She's like, I remember it was like we were rich when we went for $10 each. Like we were like losing our minds. Then sometimes it'd be $5 and then sometimes it's $5 between us. And so they get something for like $2.50. Now it's just like, here's my card. It's like whatever. Get whatever you want. But so I think they love the experiences. They love like when we got I think it was so good for them because Mason walks around, he says infinite money all the time. He's like, but you've got infinite money, Mum. And I say, no, we're not buying that. It's like, but you've got infinite money. I'm like, what do I say to that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes, you know what? It's interesting because the house that we live in now is, I mean, we moved out of Sydney and up, you know, the northern part of New South Wales. So the real estate market here for rentals is a bit different to Sydney, like the pricing, whatever. So the place that we've moved into is like, I don't know, it's like 3 times as big as the place that we were living in before. And I mean, the place we lived in before was beautiful and it was big enough for us when we first moved in there because that was our first house after living in a caravan. So it actually felt like a mansion when we moved in there.
Yeah.
But then after like a year and a half, we're like, this is kind of small. We need more space. It's so funny how your perspective like changes over time.
We're going to be in a house, we may as well do it properly.
So we ended up finding this amazing house and it was brand new, never been lived in before. It was styled, it was furnished, all of the things. So we moved into this beautiful house that's right near the beach. And so now Harper, my daughter, says, we're rich. We're a rich family. Like, look at us. We're a rich family. And it's so interesting how those conversations come up and they'll ask for things and I'll say, no, we're not going to buy that. And it'd be like, why? We're a rich family, Mum. And I said, well, yeah, but we also need to think about why we're buying things. Like, do you actually want this? Because just remember, when you're done with it, it needs to go to somebody else who wants it or it goes into landfill. Like I've been in that conversation of like, we just don't buy stuff because we've got infinite amount of money and like we're rich and all of those things. We buy things because we actually really love them and we will take care of them and we will appreciate them versus just buying stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, Mark loves it. He's got his big car.
I
was just thinking
about us. You bought him a car.
I bought him a car.
That.
Oh my God. And I am so smart with like money because everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe you spent that much money. Guess what? It's worth double. So how you like them already? I'm like, that, my friend, is what you do with money instead of money in the bank. Because everyone's like, you should just keep it in the bank. Not everyone, just a couple of people. You should be more conservative with your money. All right, then. What about when inflation comes? Free-spirited money is such a mindset. Like women get to trust themselves that we actually know what's up. Yeah. And I bought this, it was 76 grand. It's worth now 150, 140, 150 now.
Wow.
Car. And it will only go up in value. We bought this incredible Mark's dream car. I'm so happy that we did that. It was so
because
fun.
It's a vintage car.
It's a
classic,
it's a
like
GT.
collectible.
Yeah, GTXY. It's a collectible. We bought it in cash. It was amazing. And then just last weekend or the other weekend, the sun was rising and then there's jet ski. And so I was looking out at the sunrise over the ocean and there was a jet ski just going past it right as the sun was rising. I'm like, that's so cool. I want to buy a jet ski today. And so we went and bought a jet ski that day. And it was purple.
That's bloody awesome.
This is why
that's why I love
having money is a great thing because something that you actually desire. And you guys used to jet ski quite a lot. And, you know, boating and all of that sort of stuff was a big part of your lifestyle. And so it's something that you guys know that you will enjoy as a family and get a lot of value out of it. It's not just like, oh, we'll just buy a jet ski so we can say we have a jet ski.
Yeah.
We're not just going to buy a car just to say that we've got a collectible car. Like these are things that actually that you love and you will appreciate and get beautiful memories from, which I think is beautiful because a lot of us will go, oh, I would really love a jet ski. It'd be so much fun. Oh, yeah, I don't have the money for that. I should be spending my money on this and I should be doing that with my money. And, like, it's a big investment. Let me think about it. Like, when you are And I think this is a beautiful note to finish on, and I love you to riff on this, Jana, is the whole like mentality around wanting to be a millionaire. And wanting to be rich, wanting to be wealthy, because there's such a stigma. And I feel, especially as women, if we want money, that it's a superficial thing. It's like, you know, we're just wanting to have money just to have money. But really what having money means is that you have more choices. You're able to do more of the things that you actually desire to do and would feel fulfilling for you.
I feel like I would have been a millionaire years ago if I had more positive beliefs around millionaire. And if I knew this, if I knew what I know now, if I could have been a millionaire before I became a millionaire, I would have been a millionaire faster. So just pretend you're a millionaire and think about what you would think if you were a millionaire. That makes so much sense. But my biggest thing now that I know what it means is I'm really all about being yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're literally not yourself until you have no restrictions of money. And that is so hard to feel, but there's a new level of myself that I found, and it's not different, it's deeper. So I'm more generous than I thought I was. I don't think I wasn't, I used to think that I wasn't generous. I used to be so skimpy with birthday presents. Now I'm just like, $27,000 jet ski in cash, fine, there you go, here's, have a jet ski. And it's like his car.
Hey, my birthday's coming up, Jana.
Have a car.
Yes, it's mine.
Yeah, would you like a car? You have a car. You get a car. You get a car. It's like you don't get to see your pure desire and you being as you want to be, like until you have this abundant overflow. I want to live here. I want to do this. I want to go here and I want to do it now. And I want to be this and I want to go on a jet ski at sunrise. You don't get to actually have all of your desires. So if I had done that earlier, would have been a millionaire sooner. And if I had known this earlier, if I had known what I know now, I would have, like I said, we don't need to go in that little loop again. But as I think just the beliefs I held about what it means to want more money, like even as we hear, I want more money, I want money, it's like,
yeah,
like our bodies is like, you're not allowed to do that. Who said? So for me, it's like really like making peace and healing my desire for money, because money it goes without saying, it's going to enrich your relationships. If you've like got amazing relationships, it's just going to make them better. It's across the board, everything is just going to get better. So for me, if I'm really concerned with being myself, you got to make money. Like how you like them apples, like put those two things together.
Yeah.
You got to make money, like, so that you can have this overflow to see who you actually really are with no restrictions. Would you buy the Chanel? I still don't go in there. I'm like, oh, now I know who I am. Because I can now, and I don't. And I have no desire to walk in there, but I get it now. But because you can.
Yeah.
Because I can, I'm going to go into Chanel. But I don't want to. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is brilliant.
Absolutely. Whoa, this was so good.
It's almost like I am. I'm speechless because that's just like a perspective I've actually never even considered.
That's a breakthrough. This is going to go down as
a breakthrough.
Do you want to pick up the mic and drop it?
Yeah. Boom.
You can if you want.
I don't think I should.
Let's just pretend like you drop it. Just did that sound like it dropped?
It sounded more like I'm.
Yeah, ready? Drop it on here. Just
Oh, it's heavy.
There we go.
Oh wow, it's a magnet.
Yeah, it's a magnet.
Drops mic.
That was awkward.
Exit stage.
Oh my God.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Be a millionaire. Be yourself.
You got to be a millionaire so you can be yourself.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jana, for being on our podcast again.
That's for me. Thank you guys for having me on. You guys are the best. I love our conversations. They're
so good.
Good chat.
Yeah.
Love it. Just one more last one.
Just one more last one. Okay. Bye.
That's why we do our awkward goodbyes, because Paula and I are like, we can't hang up. Just
Like,
like,
all right,
one more last one thing
Yeah.
to say.
Okay, bye.
I get back.
Wild Rose.